thanks to my supporters, for the last 2 years, I've been able to make a living as a loudmouth prick. Now I know what it's like to work in cable news. Support the habit at patreon.com/doseofbuckley. Oftentimes, a scientific study will come out where you say, did they really need to waste researchers' time proving that? We already knew that. I'm sure I've been guilty of saying something similar. In fact, I've probably said it in a video somewhere. But it is important because what we thought we knew isn't always correct. Like, remember years ago when we switched to plastic because scientists were like, we can't keep cutting down trees for things. We'll run out of trees and ruin the environment. And now, everyone is talking about how evil single-use plastic bags are and that we need to switch back to paper. Or sugar. When I was a kid, sugar was the fucking worst. Oh, we can't have it. People are getting fat and becoming diabetics from too much sugar. And so, companies put high fructose corn syrup in everything. Well, it's made from corn. Obviously, that's healthy. Corn's a vegetable. And then everyone still became fat fucks, and now you'll see companies advertise things with natural sugar as if it's a better alternative. And then people do go, well, that's better than that high fructose corn syrup shit. That fake chemical shit'll kill ya. Not like good old reliable natural sugar. So, researchers do these studies to either prove what we think we already know, or disprove things we thought were true. And sometimes it's just satisfying when science does prove something that we thought we knew. So we can point to the study and go, see? Smart people said I'm right. Like this one. A group of researchers recently published a study that said people who worship celebrities are dumber than people who don't. For years, I've been discussing how unhealthy celebrity obsession is. And of course, anyone on social media has seen the rampant rise of stan culture, usually surrounding pop musicians, especially K-pop groups. People who are completely unashamed with how obsessed they are with Taylor Swift or BTS, who claim to be in these groups and communities, who get in fights with other fandoms over who is the best. Right away, you have to think, well, something is definitely wrong with these people, right? And so these researchers set out to try and prove a link between celebrity worship and cognitive skills. Cognitive skills are, well, let's just let the first search result on Google tell us what they are. Cognitive skills are the core skills your brain uses to think, read, learn, remember, reason, and pay attention. It's not just your memory or your ability to process and understand the things you see and hear, but it's also your ability to solve problems or use logic. Something that most people would suggest is low among people who would, get into fights on Twitter all day with people who don't like the same music as they do, or who spend all their time trying to find out every detail they can about the lives of people they will never know in real life and will never be friends with. The people who wet themselves whenever a celebrity likes their tweet. There's a clear disconnect from reality when you're losing your mind over the fact that some famous person, or more likely someone who works for a famous person, is just scrolling through Twitter, clicking a heart button while they're taking a shit because they know it's an easy way to get delusional fans to feel even more connected to their favorite celebrity. So those fans will go out and spend more money on their shit or stream their songs more often to generate more money for them. And then they write shit in their Twitter bios like, Ariana Grande liked my tweet on March 12, 2021. And that's a defining moment in their sad little dumb person lives. So, the study. They surveyed 1,763 Hungarians. I didn't know Hungary was also thirsty for the celebs. They had them first complete the Rosenberg self-esteem scale. Anyone can take this test. It tells you whether or not you have low self-esteem if you're honest with the answers. And then something called the Celebrity Attitude Scale. 23 questions that range from, my friends and I like to discuss what my favorite celebrity has done, kinda normal, to, I have frequent thoughts about my favorite celebrity, even when I don't want to, which is kinda weird, to, if I were lucky enough to meet my favorite celebrity and he or she asked me to do something illegal as a favor, I would probably do it. So, if, say, Justin Bieber asked you to go buy him some heroin or steal a dog for him, and you're like, oh, I'd totally do that for him, I'd do anything for him, then I guess you'd circle strongly agree on that one. Then they gave these same adults, again, keep in mind these are all adults. We're not talking about 14-year-old Twitter goofballs. These are the adults who used to be 14-year-old Twitter goofballs or whatever their equivalent was when they were kids. The ones who read the same issue of Tiger Beat until a fucking page is disintegrated. They gave these same adults 2 cognitive ability tests. A vocabulary test, where they gave them 30 words, then 4 possible one-word definitions for each word. Seems like it's basically, what's the synonym to this word? The examples they show in the study are vain, and then the answer was conceited, or amorphous, and the answer was shapeless. They don't tell us what the wrong answers were, but either way, simple enough to understand, right? And the other test was a short digit symbol test, where basically you're given a set of symbols and a number that corresponds to each one. And then you're shown those symbols again, and you need to try and answer as quickly as possible. Like say if 1 is a square, 2 is a line, 3 is a circle, and 4 is a triangle, and then they show you those symbols in different orders, and you have to try and quickly and accurately answer. Apparently, they also use this test to determine brain age and diagnose potential early onset dementia. So they did all this, and what they came up with is the people who scored high on the celebrity attitude scale scored low in the cognitive ability tests, even when factoring in all the demographic info, self-esteem, etc. They couldn't say, well, it was just the poor celebrity-obsessed people who were also dumb, or the ones with low self-esteem were the only ones who worship celebrities. What they found is that there is a direct association between celebrity worship and poorer performance on the cognitive tests that cannot be accounted for by demographic and socioeconomic factors. In other words, people obsessed with celebrities are slack-jawed mouth breathers. However, what they couldn't determine was which causes which. This is my absolute favorite part of the study. They mention that it may be that individuals with higher levels of cognitive skills are more likely to understand the marketing strategies behind a famous person, which may prevent them from developing a strong emotional bond with the celebrity. But another possible explanation for this association could be that celebrity worship has been associated with addictive behaviors such as gambling addiction, compulsive buying, and problematic internet and social media use, and that a core feature of behavioral addictions is the decreased level of cognitive flexibility and performance. In other words, they don't know if worshiping celebrities makes you stupid, or if stupid people worship celebrities. Only that these people worship celebrities and are stupid. It's a real chicken and the egg situation, although we're not sure that people who consider themselves part of the BTS army could be reasonably expected to identify a chicken or an egg were they shown one. But isn't it satisfying to know that science backs your belief that stans on Twitter are a bunch of smooth-brained Ralph Wiggums? Now the sad part is, they'll never know that they're dumber than the average person. We can't tell them, and we can't show them the study because, well, they don't have the cognitive abilities to understand. Poor things. Then again, maybe that is a good thing. After all, if ignorance is bliss, then according to science, the people who call celebrities bestie on Instagram must be the happiest little droolers on the planet.